Hi everyone, it's me, Crystalline, your proactive, conscious aging life coach. How are you guys doing today? I am joyful in the Lord and in the power of His might. If you're new to my channel, what I talk about here is health, wellness, and beauty across the lifespan, because I don't think that health and wellness stops at a certain age. I think that we can be fit, beautiful, and healthy from birth until termination of life. And so that's what I talk about, health and wellness. So I particularly want to address my still sexy sisters over 60 to help you guys know what to do to remain healthy and well. But I welcome everyone. And I want to remind you guys, if you like what you see here today, please subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like it and share it and hit that notification bell so you can get my videos as soon as I upload. So I want you to stick around today because I have some heart health tips. And while we're talking about the heart health, I'm going to be juicing. So we're going to juice and talk today. How does that sound? If it sounds good to you, then stick around. So I have today my Hamilton Beach juicer, and in a second I'm just going to lower everything so you can see what all I have here. But I want to give you heart health tip number one because I am so passionate about this. Number one tip for heart health is to exercise. Get your body moving. Now, experts say that you have to do only 30 minutes a day of cardiovascular exercise in order to be healthy. Now, what is cardiovascular exercise? That is exercise that makes your heart pump. They also call it aerobic exercise, but it makes your heart pump. And you have to remember that the heart is a muscle. So as we make it pump a little bit harder, we're strengthening the heart muscles. And, you know, I want you guys to be honest. If there's anyone out there who's over 50 years old, raise your hand in the comments section and let me know. And let me know, are you exercising? How often are you exercising? Heart health is just so important. The heart is our main organ in our body. And when we let that go, you know, everything else is not far behind. So you have to take care of your heart. Now, I'll tell you what I do. I've been exercising regularly since I was about 15 years old. So I do a combination of cardio, and then I also lift weights to build up my lean muscle mass. So that's what you should be doing. Another couple of facets of physical fitness are stretching and also your balance. Because as we get older, sometimes our muscles strength gets a little bit less, and you know, I'll talk about that on another video. But also we tend to lose the equilibrium. Sometimes we have hearing loss and things like that. So you also should be practicing balance. But today, I just want to focus on the cardiovascular aspect of exercise. Anything that gets your heart pumping. You can walk, you can jog, you can run, you can roller skate, ice skate, you can jump up and down on a rebounder. What I like to do a lot is to jump rope. I also like to ride my bike when it's spring, summer, fall, all the way into the early winter here in Michigan. You will find me on my bicycle outside riding around every other day. And then on the other days, I do my jump rope for exercise. And I usually jump rope and then lift weights. Now, see, this is something that I've been doing since I was 15 years old. If you are out of shape or you haven't worked out for a while, always ask your doctor what you can do and to what extent you can do it. You know, just because you're starting to exercise and you want to have a good program, you don't have to, you know, go out and run the Boston Marathon the first day, okay? You want to take baby steps towards your goal of good heart health. So I want to remind you, about that I just reminded myself of. This video is not an endorsement for any kind of exercise program or any kind of nutrition program. I am just giving you some information, okay? You check with your family doctor and see what's going to be good for you. So the number one health tip for a healthy heart is to exercise. Let's get moving, people, okay? So I'm just going to put the camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here, okay? And let's go down a little bit. There we go. So I might be out a little bit, but you can still see what's going on, right? So what I have here is my handy dandy Hamilton Beach juicer. I just love it. This juicer is so sturdy, it's inexpensive, and it's great. And I'm going to show you how I started juicing. Now, some of you guys might have seen this video. It's pretty old, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And it's about Joe Cross and how he took his health into his own hands by starting a juice fast. And he just inspired people all over the world. Now, my husband is just now getting into doing this. So he went to the library and got this movie for us. Actually, it's a documentary. He got this documentary for us, and we watched it the other night. It's so inspiring. If you haven't seen it, I would just, highly recommend that you go see it. Well, I'm coming back up, okay? Because I'm talking still. But I would highly, highly recommend that you get this documentary. You can watch it on Netflix too, and I think on YouTube as well. So it's just so inspiring. I'm going to tell you, after I watched this the other night, I put my clothes on and I went on from another hour-long walk, and I had already worked out for an hour at the gym earlier. So if you need some inspiration for juicing, here it is. So let me get back. I'm going to do this a little bit more. So I'm using the Hamilton Beach juicer right now, and actually, any juicer will do. My husband is so excited right now. He wants to get one of those really fancy ones. I think it's called Nama, which is a cold press juicer that just actually presses the juice out of the fruits and vegetables. And so it's much better. This one uses blades. The Nama juicer is huge. You can just put everything in the chute and it comes out great. But for now, I'm going to use my little Hamilton Beach juicer. It's great. It's got 2 speeds, off and on. Okay? So I'm going to be making something today that I call my lean green juice. And it consists of spinach, celery, cucumbers, and apples. And if you could smell it in here, you would be in heaven. It smells so good and fresh right now in my kitchen. So these are the ingredients that I use, and I call this my lean green because I think mean green is copyrighted right now, so I can't use that. So let's just get started with this, and I'm going to put some spinach in here. I don't like kale because kale is not a high juice yield vegetable. And if you can use a whole bunch of kale and you get about 2 drops of juice. However, on the other hand, the spinach yields a decent amount of juice. So I like to use this. Spinach is high, of course, in iron, and this is my preference. So let's talk about heart health tip number 2 while I put this spinach in. Heart health number 2 is to eat a healthy diet. A healthy diet consists of food with a high antioxidant content, okay? And most of your micronutrients that you need for that good diet are contained in the vegetables and fruits that I have here. Of course, there's millions, thousands of other ones, but these micronutrients in the fruits and vegetables are your #1 sources of the vitamins and minerals that you need to improve your heart health. You can also include nuts, seeds, beans as sources as well. Now, where did my plunger go? I lost the plunger. Can you believe that? Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Okay, guys, so you just saw another example of what happens when somebody gets old. So here's my plunger. And so I'm just going to turn this on, but I do want to talk a little bit more about eating that healthy diet, okay? You want to have the nuts, the seeds, the fruits, the vegetables, the whole grains, and you want to eat foods that are low in saturated fat and cholesterol. You really need to cut down on your animal products, okay? Cut down on them or eliminate them, period, okay? And I'm going to put a link to one other video that I really like that started me off as a whole food plant-based eater, and that is called Forks Over Knives. This is also a documentary. You may or may not have heard about this. And so what this means is that instead of having to have a quadruple bypass surgery, we can eat right and avoid the knife. Forks Over Knives. Now, you know, these people are not paying me to endorse anything. I'm telling you about them because these are good things. This is good information that I'm sure you would benefit for. So let's just turn this on. Now, I do want you to notice two things. What I do with my juicer is I line this bin with a plastic bag because that makes it easier for me to clean up later on. And I also put a towel up under my measuring glass right here because sometimes the juice can just spray all over. So that's just for extra cleanup's sake. Makes it easier. After you've been juicing for a while, you know what to do to not mess up your whole kitchen because you're going to have to clean up after this. So now I've put my spinach in, and I did cut it up really small to make it easier to go in. Let's let that go. Just beautiful. It's dark green, as you can see. That's all the spinach nutrients right there. So heart health tip number 3 is, please, you guys, keep yourself at a normal, healthy weight. Now, this can be a little bit controversial, I know, but one way that you can find out a normal, healthy weight for you, there are online weight calculators. You can also go to your doctor and talk to your doctor about what's a healthy weight for your height. And the doctor will give you suggestions. And you know, everybody, I know you can look at your body pretty much and tell when you're overweight, right? And I'm going to beg to differ with a lot of people who want to describe themselves as being curvy, right? Sometimes you're not curvy, sometimes you're just fat. I hope I don't get any hate in the comments, but I'm just telling you the truth. And the reason why I'm telling you the truth is because African American women have the highest rate of heart disease in this country. I'm going to say it again because I want to look you straight in the eye. African American women have the highest rate of heart disease in this country. And what it's coming from is all those curves that everybody likes to brag and boast about, okay? You want to make sure that you are at a healthy weight for your height. I am going to put a link to a body weight calculator in the description box. So if you're not sure, you can look at a suggested weight for height and you can get yourself together, because we don't want you to get diabetes or heart disease or high blood pressure. overweight leads to those things. These are lifestyle diseases that we do have control over. We don't just have to get diabetes. You know, diabetes is not lurking around the corner waiting to jump on you. You have to actually make it happen. So let's not make it happen by doing what we need to keep our hearts healthy. So that is number 3. Make sure you stay at a normal, healthy weight for your height. So let's move on with our juicing. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is this wonderful celery. I love fruits and vegetables to juice that have a high water content. And you know celery has a high water content. So I'm just going to stick those in there and turn the juicer back on. Just the exact right amount for our juice today. That is awesome. So let's talk about heart health tip number 4, and that is drink alcohol in moderation, okay? Or not at all, okay? Who really needs, you don't really need alcohol for nutrition, do you? Basically, it's just like a lot of fermented sugar, especially if you're a beer drinker. You just don't even need it. But if you do have it, which I ain't gonna lie, I do have me a drink of wine during the holidays, on my birthday, and on special occasions. But I don't keep wine in my house. Not at all. Not unless it's the 4th of July, my daughter's coming over, or like I say, a holiday. We really don't need alcohol for nutrition. It's a lot of extra calories. A lot of people have problems with alcohol dependency too. So why even just start it up? The experts say avoid it, or if you're going to do it, you have to do it in moderation. Back to the juicing. Another thing about alcohol is that it puts you at risk for a heart attack or a stroke. So I'm going to give you some guidelines, and also there's going to be a link in the description about this. And the guidelines say for women, drink 1 drink a day, which is 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of liquor. Did you hear what I said? 1.5 ounces, not the whole glass. 1.5 ounces of liquor, depending on your health. Even that can be too much. So again, talk with your doctor about what is right for you. So now we're going to come to the cucumbers. I'm just going to hold them up there. I'm in a funny mood today, you guys. I'm going to hold them up there, and I want you to see how tiny I cut these. Now, when we get our new fancy juicer, I'll just be able to put the whole cucumber in. But for this one, you do have to make your fruit relatively small, or you'll have a hard time juicing. And you see all this green I'm putting in here? This is so good, filled with antioxidants. If you drink this, your skin is going to look like velvet. It's going to look better than glass that people talk about, because beauty is from within. So let's turn that on. Oh my gosh, if you could smell what this smells like, you would just want to make some of this juice right away. Look at that. It's just beautiful. So now you see that I'm getting to the top of this Pyrex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over and I'm going to put it into this pitcher before it overflows. Just like that. And you see that what I've used so far makes quite a bit. Now, let's move on to number 5 in our list of heart healthy habits. Number 5 is sleep well. Well, that is pretty much a common sense thing, but so many of us are on the go all the time. We're working hard, we're entrepreneurs, we got to keep grinding, and we just get to a point where we can't even sleep at night. But you have to have sleep in order to make this work. You have to sleep. So, in order to sleep well, what you should be doing is avoiding caffeinated drinks before bed. Definitely. Let's see. I got to put you over there like that. Avoid your caffeinated drinks. I'm going to move this because I don't want to get juice all over my remote. There we go. Avoid the caffeinated drinks. Okay? A lot of people have coffee without caffeine. I had to fix that right, you guys. Or don't drink the coffee at all. Drink water. Water is so essential for our well-being. Our whole body just thrives on water. Another thing is get off your cell phone, get off your computer, and get yourself ready for sleep. You don't want to do anything too exciting, okay? If you know what I'm saying. You could do some exciting things that may have a calming effect later on. Sleep is so important for so many functions. Mood, your mood the next day, your functioning, also cortisol regulation. Now, you know, if you don't sleep, you're going to have an overabundance of cortisol, which is going to lead further to an overweight condition. So now let's move on with our juicing. These are Gala apples. And these are so freaking yummy. I'm going to eat some right now. Woo! I always do that, don't I? So we're just going to put some of the apples. Again, if you notice the size of these chunks, they're quite small. And that's because this juicer has blades. It's not a cold press juicer. And that's why my husband wants us to get a cold press juicer, because he doesn't want to cut up the fruit and vegetables into these little tiny pieces. So I just load it up to the top like that. Turn this bad boy right back on. So you might wonder why I use the Gala apples. And in the original version of Joe Cross's green juice, he used a Granny Smith green apple. What is that big hole behind me? Let me put it this way. so we don't have to see that. Okay. He used Granny Smith apples, and I don't like Granny Smith apples. I really like sweets, and so as you know, everything that I put in here is not sweet. So what I do is I use the apples just to kind of, you know, tame that taste, because I do like the taste of the spinach, but it tastes like dirt. Okay, so this is just to calm that down and just add a little sweetness to the mix. So I add that, and then I stir it up. Everything is stirred up in here. So let me give you heart health tip number 6. And you know, some people would say, oh, you should have said that first, okay? Number 6, watch your salt. You want to avoid extra salt because it leads to high blood pressure. It also increases your chance for a heart attack or a stroke. Oh my God, okay? Everything we do with what we eat can help us avoid these health problems that are really, you know, of our own making. So, you know, let's just avoid it, okay? Check your food levels. You really shouldn't be getting more than 1,500 milligrams of salt per day. These fruits and vegetables are nominal, okay? You probably won't even find any salt in any of this, okay? So let's increase our fruit and vegetable intake. Juicing is one way to do it, but you can also just eat the food raw. I love raw vegetables. You saw my pineapple juice and you saw my fruit salad. I love to eat that like that. So I'm just bringing you something different today, a different way that you can get a lot of fruits and vegetables all at once, and you can, you know, maybe be done for the day with that. Some people even detox with this and just drink juice only for, you know, 5, 7, 10 days, and that's wonderful too. So I want to remind you, okay, that you don't want to eat over 1,500 milligrams of salt a day. Put that salt shaker down, all right? So now let's move on with the juicing. I hope you guys like this. It's so much fun to juice. It really, really is. I want you guys to see all my secrets over there. All right, so the last step that I'm going to do for the juicing is to use this ginger. And this is a whole big piece. Some people don't like them real spicy. I do. I mean, some people don't like their juice very spicy, but I do. So I'm going to put in a couple, then I'm going to mix it, and then I'm going to taste it. So ginger, it's not high yield either, but you can kind of see how much I got. And this is about all you need to add to the juice. So let me add that. I'll stir it up a little bit and we'll see. Now, if I want to have a lot of this juice, sometimes I'll add like distilled water or spring water, something like that, to make more. And I am going to add a couple of things to it. I'm going to add spirulina powder. Spirulina has a lot of protein. And I'm just going to put a little teeny weeny bit of it on my spoon and put it in there. The other thing I'm going to add is chlorella. Chlorella is excellent, excellent, excellent. It's very high in protein. It has more protein per milligram than beef, chicken, or fish. It's very, very good to use if you're healing from cancer. Now, I'm going to tell you with the chlorella, you really have to go easy. One time I put a whole teaspoon in the blender and it was over, okay? You can only use a very, very little bit of this chlorella. And both of these are sea algae. Awesome, lots of protein. Sometimes people say, how do you get protein on a plant-based diet? Well, that's one of the ways. So then I mix it up very well like this. And now I am ready to drink. Let's see how that tastes. There we go. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not up high enough. You know, guys, I said please bear with me. One of these days I'm going to have a camera and everything, but I'm just starting off and I just hope you'll stay with me. Let's drink this. Awesome. I had just the right amount of apples. Sometimes I don't put enough apples. This time I used 4 Gala apples, and so it's the perfect blend of the fruits and vegetables right here. Let me pour some more so you can see what it looks like. That's it. Let me see. Can you see that? Yeah. It is really, really, really good. Let me see. It's really good. So let me take some more. That's wonderful. I have one more heart health tip for you. And this might be the most important heart health tip of all. And that is to ease or avoid stress. Okay? Stress is a killer. And I kind of alluded to that a few minutes ago when I was talking about sleep, because sometimes we just don't get enough sleep. We're so wound up and wired from what has happened during the day that our sleep patterns are messed up. It is imperative for you to get enough sleep, especially as you're becoming older. We really need that time for our bodies to rest and repair. So I want to just give you some little few tips on how you can do that. Well, first of all, plan your day out. What I do actually when I have some really important things that I want to do, or sometimes even just so I'll have a guide, I just make a list. What am I going to do for that day, right? What am I going to do? And that helps me by just making a list. I go in order, and I rarely let anything, break my order, because that disturbs my peace. And, that's not making me peaceful. I'm just saying it like that because a lot of people, they say after they get over 50, everything is all about peace. And I totally understand. Another thing that you can do is to go easy on yourself. I don't know if you're like me, but I tend to be very hard on myself. I tend to have very high overly perfectionistic expectations of myself. And it's just not necessary. It's just not that serious, let's just learn how to enjoy life. And, because nobody is sitting there with a scorecard seeing if you messed up something or not, right? So go easy on yourself. If you got a few pounds to lose, don't have a heart attack. Make your plan on what you're going to do. And that'll be a whole other video. But I'm just trying to say, don't be so hard on yourself. It gets on your nerves. It makes your blood boil. It makes you have high blood pressure. So stop with the overly high expectations, not only of yourself, but of the people around you. Give people a break. The other thing I want to emphasize is that learn how to laugh, at yourself. Learn how to laugh at things in life. Don't go around punching people or slapping people across the face because you're not able to laugh at yourself. We have to be able to laugh at ourselves. You know, once we laugh, you know, it just releases a whole bunch of hormones that make us feel good. Keep a smile on your face. Like that, you see? Because your attitude determines your altitude. I don't know about you, but I want to live to be 100 years old. So I'm going to do the things that I need to do. And you know, you never know when the Lord is going to call you home. But in the meantime, I'm going to be doing what I need to do. I'm going to be sleeping well. I'm going to be eating well. I'm going to be doing my exercises. I'm going to learn how to talk straight. See, that's one of those overly perfectionistic things that I say, laughing, you know, about myself. Anyway, I'm going to do the things that I need to do to stay healthy while I am here for those 100 years. What about you? You know, put some comments down there and let me know what you do for your heart health and how you plan to stay healthy. You know, they say that you must plan things, okay? A goal without a plan is just a dream. So I'm going to have a goal to stay healthy for my 100 years. What about you? So you guys, that is my heart health and talk video for today. I hope this has been a blessing to you. If you have any questions, just please drop them down in the comments. I'm going to leave the links to the products and to the documentaries that I talked about also down there in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.